I get comments often saying that Trump should be barred from voting or barred from running for office if somehow he is convicted of a felony, or even just if he's charged with a felony, and I strongly disagree. And I'm going to tell you why in this video. I'm Eliza Orlins, career public defender for the last 14 years in Manhattan. So I wrote this article almost a year ago now, and I didn't choose the headline, but they captioned it, "Stopping Trump from Running for Office is Bad for Democracy." The unprecedented arraignment of an ex-president has gotten a lot of people talking about whether or not someone charged with or convicted of a crime should be allowed to run for president, and in this comment, or should be allowed to vote. And in fact, there was legislation introduced in the House citing the 14th Amendment, basically saying that it should be a prohibition on office holders who engaged in insurrection. Well, while there's nothing that in the Constitution specifically that would prevent Trump from running on the basis of his current criminal charges, some are arguing that he should be. And people who are convicted of felonies are currently barred from voting in many states. And it may not seem like much of a leap to say that people with felony convictions should be barred from participating in the democratic process. But I want to point out to people, as a career public defender and a staunch advocate for reforming our criminal legal system, I want to remind anyone, especially if you consider yourself a progressive or a Democratic candidate who is salivating over the prospect of preventing Trump from running for office again, that that would actually be really bad for democracy. Because the right to decide for oneself what qualities or aspects of a candidate's bio and experience should or shouldn't be considered disqualifying is one of the most important rights that is guaranteed under our Constitution. Moreover, because of, as I've talked about many times, the fact that our criminal legal system disproportionately disenfranchises, criminalizes, and stigmatizes people of color and those who are vulnerable with no authentic commitment to making our society fairer and more just, we should want people who've been personally affected by the system to hold public office, because their experiences and perspectives would actually help create a better system. Furthermore, as I point out, there are very few cases that actually end up going to trial. It's highly coercive. Many people end up taking pleas, especially given the consequences that would hang over their head if they engage in their right to go to trial. And this is something that people should consider. And the system is deeply flawed, and so it's irresponsible to celebrate these charges, even against a former president, without acknowledging that. The reality is, even though Donald Trump is entering the criminal legal system from a position of undeniable privilege, the deck in the criminal legal system is stacked against people who've been charged with crimes. As a public defender, I always say I see things in court every single day that I sincerely believe if the average person saw, they would be completely shocked by. They do not comport with the things that we see on TV or in the media or in movies, and even high-profile cases that are televised can contribute to misperceptions about the legal system. I hope that everyone can appreciate, even though it does seem as though Trump is someone who has not faced accountability, and he may, in fact, actually end up facing accountability, and you're going to hear his lawyers argue things throughout the process about the unfairness of the system. Well, they're right. The system is unfair. So even if he is held accountable, that is the exception, not the rule. And I hope that people just keep in mind that this case should serve as a reminder that real change in the system is long overdue. Anyhow, feel free to go look it up. It's on the Daily Beast, that article that I wrote a year ago, but it's still highly relevant today and is clearly coming up in the course of discussions about this case. Thanks for sticking around, and please feel free to leave questions in the comments and like and follow for more.